Hi everyone, hopefully okay. Today I'm going to do the sweater weather tag for you. I have been tagged to do this by Barbara, whose channel is called The Persian Babe, and it's very similar to the I Heart Fall tag that I was tagged by Jemima. So I'm going to pop both their links to their channels down below because you can check them out if you haven't already, because they are really good. So I'm just going to get on with it. So I've got all the questions on my iPad just down here. And the first one is favourite candle scent. Now, I don't particularly have a specific seasonal favourite. All year round, I like really sweet, quite sickly scented candles. So, Vanilla Cupcake by Yankee Candle, that's one of my all-time favourites. This time of the year, I love Christmas Cookie. I know they've got one called Christmas, like Merry Marshmallow or Merry Mallow or something, which sounds so up my street. So basically, anything that's kind of cake or sweet based is basically what I really like. What I've currently been burning, because all my Yankee Candle ones have sadly burnt out, I've been using this Yankee, no it's not a Yankee Candle at all, it's a flamingo candle, and I will pop the link down to their website below. And this is Cheesecake Crunch, and it just smells really sweet, like cheesecake basically. It's very similar to Vanilla Cupcake by Yankee Candle, but I just absolutely love the jar. I just think that's so cute with the flamingo, and I like when it obviously all burns out, I think I can use this maybe for makeup brushes, or maybe I could put other candles in there because I just think it's a really cute jar. So the next question is coffee, tea or hot chocolate, and I'm not really a tea drinker. I don't really like tea. I have been having like milky coffees in the mornings, but my favourite out of the three has to be hot chocolate. You just cannot go wrong with a hot chocolate, especially when you've got like squirty cream and marshmallows on top. It's just the best thing ever. I have been drinking a lot of like hot chocolate lately, but you know what, it's cold outside, it's the perfect excuse. So definitely hot chocolate out of those three. Number 3, what's the best fall memory that you have? Now, this was actually really hard to try and think of something, because I don't really have any specific memories that really stand out from like autumn, winter time, but I did think of one, and I don't know if this is specifically fall. It's more of like a Christmas memory, but I just thought I would roll with it. Basically, when I was a lot younger, like when I was probably about in primary school, my mum and dad always used to decorate our house in loads of Christmas lights basically, and we lived on like this estate, and other houses would decorate their houses too, but we were the ones that always went out the furthest. We'd have the most Christmas lights. Remember, we had like a illuminated Santa that would like hang out of one of the windows. We had like a flashing reindeer, and yeah, I mean, we used to put like probably not as much Christmas lights as probably you'd be expecting, but back in the day, like more than 10 years ago, like 12, 13 years ago, it was like quite a lot. So people would actually come from around like the local villages and drive past our house just to look at the lights, which was quite weird. And every single year, I mean, this is before Christmas, so we're probably talking like end of November, beginning of December time, we'd have like a turning on party. So all the neighbours would come round, and like I remember one year mum cooked like baked potatoes and chilli, and I remember it was just always a really nice time, and you always knew that Christmas was coming soon because all the lights were up and everyone else would try to compete with us to put lights up, and it was just, I just remember it being a really nice time, a really exciting time, because you're like, yes, Christmas is coming. And it was just, you know, it was just really fun, and you know, it was quite cool to live in a house that was covered in fairy lights that people came to visit. So I'd probably say that's quite a fond memory. I don't know if it quite classes as fall, but it's kind of that whole time period. So I'd probably say that would be my favourite fall memory. So next is, which makeup trend do you prefer, dark lips or winged eyeliner? And I'm going to say dark lips, because out of the two, I don't really particularly wear either of the two a lot. I am just cat-handed when it comes to eyeliner. So winged eyeliner, I've still not been able to master. It just always ends up like coming up to my eyebrow basically, or they're just uneven. So I kind of have just given up with the whole winged eyeliner thing. I just accept that I'm never going to be able to master it. And I do normal just like black eyeliner on my lash line, but sometimes I look at it and think, oh my god, if 5-year-old could have done that better than me. So recently I have been getting more into dark lips. I wore like a berry lip, you know, the Kate Moss 107. I wore that to work the other day. There's a Bourjois Colour Boost, which is quite nice, a plum one. There's a red one. So I probably would say this time of the year I do prefer like a brighter, bolder lip rather than my dodgy 5-year-old winged eyeliner. So the next question is favourite fragrance for fall, and again I don't really have fragrances that are particularly seasonal based. I literally have all my fragrances in a row and I just kind of pick whichever one I want to wear daily, like whatever takes my fancy. But if I had to pinpoint one that I thought was more suited for autumn and winter, I'd probably say it's Marc Jacobs Lola, and probably part of the reason, like because of this, is because I got this for Christmas about a couple of years ago. So this scent actually kind of reminds me of like wintry Christmas times, because when I got it I was wearing it all the time, non-stop. And also I was first introduced to this perfume during Freshers Week at university, and one of my friends had this perfume, and she was like, it was her mum and dad's leaving present to her, so we were all kind of spraying it before nights out. So that kind of reminds me of like September, October time. So it's a little bit heavier than the majority of my perfumes that are quite fruity and sweet based. So it's a little bit heavier, it's more of a nighttime one, but I'd probably say this is probably the perfume that I most associate with this time of year. So yeah, Marc Jacobs Lola. Next is favourite Thanksgiving food. Now I'm going to slightly tailor this question because obviously I live in the UK, so we don't celebrate Thanksgiving, which I think really sucks because I would love to be able to celebrate Thanksgiving. It just seems like a really cool holiday. But basically, I'm going to change it more to like Christmas, so my favourite Christmas food, because apart from Christmas food, we don't really have any specific like autumnal foods apart from like toffee apples and stuff like that. But I'm going to say favourite Christmas food, and I'm going to have to say pigs and blankets, which are little sausages wrapped in bacon. They are amazing. They're my favourite thing about Christmas dinner, like, because you don't really have them the rest of the year. Well, we don't. So it's just my favourite thing to look forward to. It's that thing that makes roast dinners a little bit different to the normal roast dinner. I'm not really a massive fan of turkey. I'm not really the biggest fan of chicken either. So it's just kind of like dry chicken to me. Like, I'd much rather have like a beef joint or something for my Christmas dinner than turkey. So I'd probably say pigs and blankets. That is my favourite kind of Christmassy food. Next question is, what is the autumn weather like where you live? Now I am quite lucky. I live down south, so I live in the south of England, which means that the weather is probably a little bit warmer than like up north. And to be honest, I feel like we've been incredibly lucky with the weather. We've not really had any really cold spells. Like, I'm still wearing my leather jacket, which I think is pretty darn good. And yeah, I mean, we've had a few cold like mornings, and there's been a few evenings I've been walking home from work and I'm like, oh, it's a bit chilly, but nothing out of the ordinary. Like, I'm sure that the weather is usually a lot worse this time of year. Like, I'm sure we've had snow, or it's a lot more icy and frosty. So at the moment it's quite mild. It's been a lot of wind. There's been a lot of wind this autumn. We had this crazy storm, probably like almost a good month and a half ago, that kept me up all night because it was just crazy. Someone's fence like blew down. Crazy weather. So we've had a lot of really windy days. Apart from that, I haven't really noticed much difference. So, but I'm sure as soon as like January and February rolls around, that's the really cold period. So I'm not complaining. I'm absolutely loving it. I don't really like snow or anything like that. So I'm kind of liking this mild yet windy weather. So next is must-have nail polishes for, and I probably should have brought a nail polish with me to film this video, but I haven't got one, so that's a bit of a fail on my part. Is there one down there? No. Basically, I wouldn't say I've got a specific nail polish that I've worn loads. I've got a couple though. I recently bought a berry M1. I can't remember the number of it, but it's basically like a deep berry colour. I'll pop the name of number of that before. So like deep berry colours, they're really nice. I've been liking like cobalt blues, so like Essie Butler Please. I know that's a limited edition one, but Bourjois have got a very similar one too. And then I've been loving like my nudes. I've currently got like a grey nude on at the moment. There's a Bourjois one, I think it's called BC Beige, which I've been wearing a lot of. So probably them three colours, like a greigey nude, a berry and a cobalt blue are probably the three that I've been kind of rotating the most around autumn. Next is football games or jumping in leaf piles. Now to be honest, neither of these two things are kind of me. I'm not really a football girl. I tried playing football when I was at secondary school and a football hit me in the eye and I suppose that has kind of put me off playing football ever since. I had a black eye. When it hit me, I honestly thought I'd lost my eye. When my eye would have gone, I'm not quite sure. But I suppose that kind of put me off, and now whenever I go to see football games, if we're sat behind the goal, I have this chronic fear that the ball is going to come and like hit me in the face again. So I'm not really a football game kind of girl. And then jumping in leaves, that's not really my kind of thing either. Like, I did take Frankie for a walk a couple of weeks ago, and there was like a big pile of leaves, and I kind of kicked them. That was about as far as it would go. I wouldn't really ever see myself jumping in them, unless maybe I was drunk or something. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to be really boring. If I had to choose one, I'd say jumping into leaf piles, because that sounds so much more fun than playing football. But I wouldn't probably do either of them out of choice. Next is skinny jeans or leggings, and I'm going to have to say 100% skinny jeans. I am not a leggings girl at all. In fact, I really feel there should be a law about how to wear leggings properly. If you wear leggings with a short top, it just really upsets me. Or if you go one step further and wear like camel or nude coloured leggings with a short top. I remember one time I was walking to work and I looked across when I was walking thinking, oh my god, there's a woman over there with no trousers on. And it took me like a good 2 minutes to realise she was actually wearing nude leggings and a short top. Like, why would you do that? You just look naked on the bottom. It just doesn't make sense. But yeah, I don't understand why people wear short tops with leggings, because it's just not flattering. You get camel toe, and you know, unless you're like, who's got a really good bum? I don't know, unless you're someone like, you know, Kim Kardashian or Miranda Kerr or whatever, and you've got this amazing body with an amazing bum, even them I don't think they'd look good with like leggings and no tops. So I think leggings are great for comfort. Like, don't get me wrong, I love a pair of leggings around the house, but with a long top. So I think they look cool on some girls. Like, I've seen girls wear them in like some cute little ankle boots. Like the pattern leggings, they're quite cool. I've seen some tartan ones which are pretty cool, but I don't really think I'd be able to pull them off. So I'm definitely like a skinny jeans girl, 100%. Next is combat boots or Uggs. Now again, I'm not really a fan of either. Like, what are combat boots? Like, I don't really think I'm a combat boot kind of girl. I'm more of an ankle boot kind of girl. So I definitely say ankle boots over Uggs for everyday wear. I do have a pair of Uggs that I bought back in the day when I was about 17, and I absolutely loved them. I saved all my money to get like a real pair, and I was so happy. But I've kind of like outgrown them, and I do tend to now wear them to walk Frankie, because let's be honest, they are like walking on clouds. So I walk Frankie in them, so I've got dodgy walking dog attire, but hey, at least they're real. And then I'd probably say for everyday workwear kind of stuff, I do prefer ankle boots. But I really want to get a pair of like cut out ankle boots, you know, with like cut out bits on the side, and then you can wear like frilly socks with them. But I haven't really found the perfect pair. Either that, or I want to get some flat boots, because all I've got is heel boots and they really like hurt my feet after a couple of hours. So if you've got any good boot recommendations, let me know down below. You can do my shopping for me, okay? Next is pumpkin spice worth the hype? Now I'm going to have to say, I'm literally the worst person for this tag, because every question I've been like, I'm going to have to say no. I don't think I've ever tried pumpkin spice, which is a little bit weird. Is that kind of like, is that a big thing? Am I missing out on stuff? Yeah, I've never tried it, so I suppose I can't really comment on it. Maybe I should try it and then I can get back to you. Next is favourite fall TV show. Now this is actually really hard, because I was trying to think of a specific autumnal wintry TV show, and I can only think of two. So obviously you've got the X Factor, that always starts at the end of summer, and when that starts you always know, oh, we're gonna have X Factor on our screens until Christmas, which is kind of a scary thought when it's like the end of August. So I suppose when the live shows come along, that's when you know you're properly into autumn. The nights are getting darker, you know, you don't feel as guilty about not going out on Saturday night because you're like, oh, I'll stay in and watch X Factor. So X Factor is quite an autumnal, wintry show. It's always on that time of the year, and I suppose it's what you associate with like wintry Saturday nights. And another one I thought of, it's finished now sadly, was Gossip Girl, because the new series in the UK always used to start around September time, and I just remember like watching it. They'd always have like fall, it was always like fall in New York, and there was loads of leaves and gorgeous colours, and I remember it just always used to make me feel really autumny, and the fashion just made me feel quite inspired. So I'd probably say like either X Factor or Gossip Girl, like them two are probably my favourite like shows around this time of the year. Apart from that, I've just realised I have missed out a question. So I missed out the question, my most worn sweater. Now I'm pretty sure that my new gingerbread man is probably going to become my most worn sweater pretty soon, but for the time being, what I've been wearing a lot of lately, just to get all this stuff off, I've actually worn this jumper in a couple of my videos. It's this pale pink jumper from Red Herring at Debenhams. So I've been wearing it loads lately because I just love the baby pink colour. It goes really nice with like an embellished collar like this. It's really, really warm. It's kind of like really, really soft. It's got like that Angora look to it, but it's not scratchy at all because I hate it when it feels all scratchy. It's just really, really soft and delicate. It's just a really, really gorgeous colour, and it's so, so warm. So I've been wearing a lot of this. I've been wearing it to work, like with a skater skirt and shorts, and then I've been wearing it at home just with like jeans and boots. So I'd probably say this is my most worn sweater so far, but I can see the gingerbread man taking over. Okay, and the final question is, which song gets you into the fall spirit? Now this is actually really, really tough. I'm trying to think of a song that reminds me of like autumn and winter. I'd probably say, I actually thought of this yesterday, and I thought of two good examples. One that makes me think of like quite autumny winter is probably Block Party. What's it called? Is it Here We Are? Yeah, Block Party, Here We Are. It's one of their songs from like years and years and years ago. It's probably about 8 years old because it was on their first album, Silent Alarm. It's track 10, and I used to absolutely love, I still do still love, I mean their music has taken a bit of a turn, Block Party back in the day when I was a lot younger. So Here We Are, it's very chilled, it's quite autumnal. You can just imagine like going on an autumn walk. So that's quite a chilled, wintry song. So I'd probably say that one. And then my current song, which is like a current chart song that makes me feel like all autumny and winter, is probably One Direction, Story of My Life. I just think it's, I don't know, it's not quite Christmassy, but it's a good wintry song, and it just kind of reminds me of, I don't know, walking to work and the leaves are falling and it's cold and I've got my tartan scarf wrapped up and I'm just listening to it, just like, yeah. So there we have it. There was the sweater weather tags. I hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry I was a bit useless at this video. I think they need to. I hope you're good. I hope you've all had a great week, and I will see you soon in my next video.